Today, we're looking at this really fascinating thread about Nick Fuentes,
Yeah,
the far-right political commentator.
right. And I think it's really important to say right off the bat that we're not here to debate Nick Fuentes' views or get into the weeds of his ideology.
Right.
Our focus is on Kiwi Farms itself.
Right.
This thread is like a window into how this platform operates.
Yeah, it's like we're anthropologists, but instead of ancient ruins, we're excavating the depths of the internet.
Exactly.
And let me tell you, this thread does not disappoint.
Oh, no.
I mean, the title alone,
Yeah.
Nicholas J. Fuentes, America First Pure, Nick the Knife, the psycho ex-girlfriend of the white race. Severe mommy issues, puts twinks in his basement and hunts for their cum, wants an older man to be proud of him, masturbates to tranny porn.
Wow.
I mean,
It's
even for Kiwi Farms,
that's saying something.
that's something else.
Yeah, and that's exactly their point, right? Like,
Okay.
that title is a statement.
It's aggressive.
It's deliberately dehumanizing.
Right, yeah.
It's designed to ridicule and provoke from the get-go.
It really sets the tone.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you are entering a space where nothing is off limits.
Yeah, mockery and aggression. Those are the rules of engagement here.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But it gets even wilder.
Oh, really?
Okay, so right at the top of the thread, there's this poll.
Yeah.
And the question is, what is the stain?
Oh, God.
And the answer choices,
Let me guess.
they all involve semen.
Of course they do.
I mean, what's the psychology behind something like that?
It's interesting, right? Because on the one hand, it's just like this crass,
Right.
absurd humor.
Yeah.
But I think it reveals something really important about Kiwi Farms. They're obsessed with uncovering these like really personal, often really embarrassing details about their targets.
Right.
It's like their own weird form of entertainment.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to one-up each other with how shocking they can be.
Right. And the fact that like almost 1,000 users voted on that poll
Yeah.
shows how invested they are in this kind of like really dark humor.
Right. It's not just about digging up dirt, though, right? They're taking this information
Yeah,
and they're using it to paint a very specific picture of Nick Fuentes.
absolutely.
Like early in the thread, there's this post that like summarizes his background, Charlottesville, his whole falling out with James Alsop, the groyper wars thing.
Right, the Groyper Wars, which was basically this like online feud between factions of the alt-right.
Right.
And it's funny you should mention that post because at first glance, it might seem like a pretty neutral overview, right? Just kind of laying out the facts.
Yeah.
But if you look closely, it's full of these little digs.
Oh, totally.
These subtle ways of framing Fuentes as ridiculous or pathetic.
Like they're trying to make him seem small,
Exactly.
insignificant.
Yeah, and they do that by highlighting all these very specific details.
Right.
Like there's this list in the thread.
Yes.
Archive. Fun facts about Nick.
Yes.
Some of them are so random, like they mention his height.
Yeah.
The fact that he follows Jenna Jameson on Twitter.
Yeah.
They even accuse him of editing his own Wikipedia page.
Right. It's like, are these even real?
Right. Who cares? But that's the point. It's not about like serious accusations or anything. It's about creating this sense of absurdity.
Right. Like he's some pathetic joke.
It's all about embarrassing him
Exactly.
and getting a reaction.
Oh, they live for the reactions.
So speaking of pushing buttons, this is where the thread gets even more interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
They dive headfirst into this whole idea of Fuentes' hypocrisy,
Okay.
particularly around his catboy fascination.
Catboys being, for those unfamiliar,
Yes, please explain.
men who dress up in, cat-like costumes.
Right, thank you. And this is so interesting because it clashes so directly with his very public stance against homosexuality.
Right.
Like, they obsess over this. They even dig up information about a date he went on with Lola Socks,
Oh, wow.
who is this, like, popular catboy influencer.
Right.
Like, they're trying to catch him in a contradiction.
And that's the thing about Kiwi Farms, right? They live for hypocrisy.
Right. It's like their bread and butter. It doesn't even matter what Fuentes truly believes.
Right.
The point is they found this inconsistency,
Yeah.
and they're going to use it to discredit him,
Right.
to make him look like a fraud.
To make him look bad.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like they're saying, we're on to you.
We see through you.
We see through your carefully constructed persona.
And that brings us to another term they use constantly, optics.
Yes. Optics.
Always with the optics.
Right. Explain that.
So optics basically means public perception, how things look to the outside world,
Right. Especially online.
especially online. Exactly.
Right.
And there are tons of comments in this thread about Fuentes' terrible optics.
Yeah.
Like how these actions, especially this catboy stuff, contradict his whole carefully crafted image.
Right.
It's like they see themselves as the arbiters of authenticity,
Right.
deciding what's good optics and what's bad optics.
Why? Why are they so obsessed with optics?
That's a great question, and I think it gets to the heart of what Kiwi Farms is all about. It goes deeper than just like being the optics police.
Okay.
It's about power.
Power.
Yeah, think about it.
Okay.
Kiwi Farms is all about like scrutinizing these online figures,
Yay.
analyzing their every move, every statement, every photo.
They're judging them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're doing it all while hiding behind these anonymous usernames.
Right. It's like they're holding everyone else to the standard that they don't have to uphold themselves.
Totally. But going back to your question about optics,
Yeah.
why is it such a big deal?
Yeah, especially for someone like Fuentes who, let's be real, kind of thrives on controversy.
Right. You'd think he'd be immune to it. But here's the thing.
Okay.
In the online world, optics are everything.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Every post, every tweet,
Right. Yeah.
every photo, it all contributes to this image you're presenting to the world.
Right.
And once that image is tarnished,
Yeah.
it can be really hard to recover.
The Kiwi Farms is like weaponizing that.
100%.
Wow.
They're taking these inconsistencies, these moments that don't fit the narrative,
Right.
and they're using them to damage Fuentes' reputation.
But it's all online though, right? Like,
Right.
does any of this actually matter in the real world?
That is the million-dollar question. Is
Right.
like on the surface, it might seem kind
Yeah.
of harmless,
Yeah.
cruel, but ultimately just entertainment.
Right.
But the line between our online and offline lives is getting blurrier and blurrier every day.
That's true. What happens online doesn't always stay online.
Exactly. And I think in Fuentes' case, that's a really important point.
So what are they hoping to achieve? Like, what's the end goal here?
It's hard to say because Kiwi Farms, it's kind of a black box.
Okay.
Their motivations are super murky.
Right.
It's like a mix of entertainment, boredom,
Okay.
and this weird desire for, I don't know, let's call it like
Right.
digital vigilantism.
Digital vigilantism.
Yeah, like they see themselves as these online superheroes,
Oh, okay.
exposing hypocrisy and holding people accountable.
But they're not exactly going about it the right way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem. There's no due process. There's no presumption of innocence.
It's just a free-for-all.
It's a total free-for-all, fueled by mockery, humiliation, and often straight-up misinformation.
So where does that leave someone like Fuentes?
That's the thing about Kiwi Farms. They thrive on reactions.
Oh, so if he tries to engage.
Oh, they love that.
Right.
Yeah, they love to see their target squirm.
So it's like he can't win.
Exactly. It's a no-win situation, and I think that's where the real danger of a place like Kiwi Farms lies.
Because it's not just some isolated community, is it?
Right. Like, they might like to think of themselves that way, as
Yeah.
this, like, niche little corner of the internet, but
But their reach extends way beyond that.
100%, the information they dig up, the narratives they construct, it bleeds into the wider internet.
It's like that saying, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes.
100%. And Kiwi Farms is very good at spreading those lies, or at least,
Right.
very particular versions of the truth.
Right. So what does this all mean for Nick Fuentes then? What happens when this online mockery, these accusations, start to impact his real-world opportunities?
That's the thing about online reputation. It's so hard to control. And once it's damaged,
Yeah.
the effects can be really far-reaching.
So even if you're someone who doesn't even know what Kiwi Farms is,
Right.
you might still be encountering information that they put out there.
Totally. It's like this digital stain that's really hard to erase.
It makes you think, what's the takeaway here? What does this deep dive into Kiwi Farms tell us about the power of a platform like this?
I think it reveals this, like, fundamental tension of the digital age, right? We have this incredible power to connect,
Right.
to share information, to hold people accountable.
Yeah.
But that power can be so easily abused.
And in this case, it seems like that abuse is often the point.
Yeah, it's a platform that thrives on negativity,
Right.
on cruelty, on tearing people down.
Yeah, it's like they're justifying it by saying they're just joking around.
Right, like they're just harmless trolls, but
But we know that's not really true.
no, their actions have real consequences,
It's a scary thought, and one that I hope our listeners will keep in mind
Absolutely.
as they're going about their lives online.
Think before you click. Think before you share.
Right. And remember, there's always more to the story
Always.
than meets the eye.
100%.
Well, on that note,
On that note,
we'll leave you to ponder this digital dilemma.
until next time.
Until next time, keep asking those questions, keep digging deeper, and as always, stay curious.